If you want to preserve your image of Batman, turn back now. What you're about to see will not be easily forgotten. Popular songs get covered and remixes. Hit films get prequels, sequels, and interquels to keep things, fresh. In the world of comics, however, the corpses of character crossovers and alternate realities litter the artistic battlefield. Attempts at recreating beloved characters are a dime a dozen, and most never breach the collective consciousness. For all of their creativity, it's a good thing that such outlandish visions stay on the down low. Unfortunately for Batman, it's time to bring his alternate history to light.
Then it's a good thing I've made another alteration to my costume.
Before we start, make sure you follow us by clicking on that like button below the video to get more sweet content from Animated Times. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Caravella. Just find me on social media, On Air Andrew. All right guys, let's go. At number 10, Nazi Batman. Alright guys, so the Batman of Earth 10 is a eugenicist, hired by Hitler to build stronger genetic codes in America. Thanks to Mr. Mind literally eating part of Batman's timeline, alternate realities are merged, and the Guardian of Gotham becomes the right-hand man of the Third Reich. Now, this hellacious universe sees the Nazis victorious after World War II, the creation of the Justice League Axis, and the underpinning ideology that superheroes will spring from the essence of the German people. Now, in this dystopian world, Nazi Batman serves as the protector of Übermenschen, literally the race of supermen. While he's quite busy doing Hitler's bidding, he attempts to find love in the hopeless place of totalitarian life. Smitten by the alien lady, Forerunner, Nazi Batman goes for the jugular and asks her out on a date with only one caveat. Normally, I'm averse to interracial relationships. Has xenophobia ever been so charming? Forerunner ultimately shot Nazi Batman's request down in more ways than one. Number 9, Green Lantern Batman. Alright, for some this is like their favorite, and I don't know why. Batman in Darkest Night takes place in a world where Bruce Wayne is a lousy crime fighter. While nursing his most recent wounds in the Batcave, Bruce has a Hamlet moment and starts praying to his dead father, asking for inspiration and guidance. Sure enough, he's visited by a specter that takes him to the crash site of Abin Sur, who conveniently landed outside Wayne Manor. With his dying breath, Sur gives Bruce his lantern ring and completely takes Hal Jordan out of the picture. Desperate for immediate glory, Batman slides on the ring and becomes the most overpowered Green Lantern of all time. He completes missions assigned by the Guardians of the Universe, keeps the Joker from being born, and he defeats Catwoman and Two-Face in one fell swoop. Most impressive of all, he battles an evil Sinestro, who mind-melded with the core of Joe Chill. When the Green Lantern Corps catches up with Batman, they're so impressed with the skills that they demand he teach them how to Dougie and wield the power of the rings. Green Lantern Batman says no because he's just having way too much fun being a boss. At number 8, Vampire Batman. Now, when I first saw this, I thought we were totally talking about Robert Pattinson, because he sparkles. But if you've ever wanted to see Batman fight Dracula, this one is definitely for you. After getting turned by the blood-sucking temptress Tanya, Bruce Wayne becomes a full-blown vampire, replete with rampant bloodlust and his own set of wings. After he blows up an army of the undead in his very own home, Vampire Batman takes on Dracula and beats him in far more satisfying ways than anything Bram Stoker could have imagined. Following the events of Red Rain end, however, Vampire Batman finds himself becoming more and more like the monsters he's killed. In the sequel story, Bloodstorm, Batman's bloodlust gets supercharged, and despite his best efforts, he finds himself gnawing on countless villains throughout Gotham. Vampire Batman hunts down the Joker, snaps his neck, then sucks his blood until he becomes Joker beef jerky. He then proceeds to kill virtually all of his rogues gallery, beheading them to keep them from reanimating. Vampire Batman has one rule, and that's YOLO. Number 7, Cavemen, Witchhunter, and Pirate Batman. Okay, though he appeared to die from Darkseid's Omega beams, Batman was actually displaced in a gonzo time stream that saw him become a hero across millennia. In The Return of Bruce Wayne, Batman battles prehistoric Neanderthals while wearing an oversized bat pelt on his head. Shot further into time, he becomes Mordecai. In 17th century America, a Puritan witch hunter who teams up with Nathaniel Wayne, progenitor center of his family line. 100 years after that, Bruce wages war on the high seas against Blackbeard, and after his success, gains access to an early version of his cape and cowl. Catapulted further into the time stream, Bruce becomes a cowboy and gets shot by Jonah Hex, immediately getting transported to the 20th century where he heals his wounds and arrives in Gotham. After a series of costume changes and endless travel through time, Bruce Wayne finally becomes the Batman we know and love, and not a moment too soon. Number 6, Soviet Union Batman. Okay, so in Superman Red Son, the Man of Steel is a veritable killing machine for the Soviet Union. Batman, born under the oppressive regime of Joseph Stalin, dedicates his life to bringing down the Russian authorities and avenging the deaths of his heretical parents. Though he frequently staged effective raids against the Soviets, Russian Batman focused his attention on destroying the Superman. Knowing Kremlin Kal-El's biggest emotional weakness, Batman kidnapped Wonder Woman and used her lasso to immobilize her. He then attacked Superman with synthetic red sunlight, the energy zapping stuff that turns Superman soft. Just as Batman grew perilously close to finishing off the Superman, Wonder Woman broke free from her shackles and turned off the red sun lamps, allowing the Man of Steel to return to his powerful state. Knowing he would be tortured and brainwashed by the Soviets, Batman chose the nuclear option and detonated a tiny bomb planted in his gut. At number 5, Franken Bat. So what would happen if Bruce Wayne became a scientist? In Castle of the Bat, this hypothesis gets a full-fledged storyline when Bruce Wayne teams up with his Igor-like assistant, Alfredo. That's right, not Alfred, but Alfredo. Together, they find the brain of Bruce's father, ravage a few graves of some body parts, and fuse everything together to bring Papa Wayne back from the dead. After a few jolts of lightning, the elder Wayne springs to life. Bruce is thrilled at his success, but his creation is less than satisfied with his existence and becomes fearful of everything around him. Thinking quickly on his feet, Bruce shoots up Frankendad with some bat fluid and lets chemistry do its thing. The DNA infusion works, and Frankenstein becomes Franken Bat, replete with a cape, cowl, and a logo smack dab in the middle of his chest. Wasting no time, the new Batman gets to work and takes revenge on the man who killed him decades prior. He saves a random woman named Julia and investigates a couple crimes before getting killed in the collapse of Castle Wayne. With his final breath, the Franken Bat mutters his first and only word to Bruce: son. At number 4, Wolverine Batman, aka Darkclaw. Alright, here it is, Logan Wayne. The name alone is intimidating, but it's only a shadow of the fear his future self would become. After 5-year-old Logan watched his parents get murdered, he left his home to live with his police officer uncle in Canada. Though he was glad to live with family, Logan's uncle also got murdered and left the boy a double orphan with nowhere to turn. As soon as he became of age, he joined the Royal Canadian Air Force and quickly wound up in the super soldier program, Weapon X. After getting adamantium welded to his body, Logan shed his mortal nature and became Darkclaw, while maintaining his playboy status as a, careless billionaire artist. Imagine, Bruce Wayne, painter. Anyways, Darkclaw shreds his enemies without mercy. He has the inner resolve and tactical imagination of Batman, along with the outer resilience and healing power of Wolverine. The result is a devastatingly powerful superhero, and perhaps the most popular blend that Amalgam Comics ever created. At number 3, Wizard Batman. Okay, so Ra's al Ghul once taught Bruce Wayne about the value of theatricality and deception, but in Superman Batman Sorcerer Kings, he gets to use real magic, which is totally awesome. The stakes are high. A team of witches and warlocks sacrifice the sun to achieve their mystical goals, cursing Earth and its surrounding planets to certain doom. Though their grand plot ultimately failed, the new sun essentially vaporized all electronics on our planet, sending culture back to the quasi-Stone Age. In lieu of technology, magical powers and potions populated the Earth. Though a far cry from his usual set of weaponry, Wizard Wayne becomes the Dumbledore of Gotham and starts stocking up on magical powers. Though he battles baddies with his newfound wizardry, Batman keeps his wits about him and relies on the element of surprise. While fighting a warlock, he whips out a whistle and blows hard. His enemy mocks him. "You're really scraping the bottom of your bag of tricks?" If only he knew. Seconds later, the call of the whistle is answered, and Wizard Batman's blue fire-breathing dragon, Batwing, arrives to incinerate his enemy. At number 2, God Batman. Alright, so let's quote this. "I'm a god now. They are just a few of Batman's less than humble words about his seat on the king-making furniture, the Mobius chair. In Jeff Johns' Justice League storyline, The Dark Side War, Batman moves from mortal to immortal and literally becomes the god of knowledge. In addition to becoming a bit of a bully, like telling Hal Jordan he's worthless without his power ring, all-knowing Oz Batman uses the Mobius chair to track down the man who killed his parents. Though the Dark Knight has had many encounters with Joe Chill over the years, he has never been quite as terrifying as he is now. While questioning Chill about the number of innocents he murdered, almighty God Batman loses his cool and unmasks himself. Because I'm Bruce Wayne. I imagine that's what it sounded like. Anyways, this moment would only be more satisfying if he added a goddamn in front of it. But then he'd just be cursing against himself, right? And at number 1, Batbaby. Alright, so meet Little Wayne, scourged of Gotham's evildoers. This impossibly weird Silver Age comic shrinks Batman down to bite size while allowing his mind and physical strength to stay fully developed. How on earth did this happen? Well, a demeaning man named Garth built a ray gun specifically designed to turn Batman into Batbaby. He thought he would humble the Dark Knight beyond repair, but it had the opposite effect. When the Gotham Gazette saw the crime-fighting tyke kicking derriere with his cape, overalls, and patent leather shoes, they ran a story about him and made Batbaby more fearsome than ever. Garth and his lackeys grew terrified. A bizarrely confident Batbaby had his own rocky moment and trained with a speed bag, preparing for his final showdown with the criminals. When the day came, Batbaby swung onto the scene, turned a rocking horse into the Batmobile, and beat the baddies into submission. Alright, well there you have it. What other alternate Batmans or Batmen have come out of the woodwork? Let us know in the comments below. If you haven't already liked our page, like and share our video. And if you liked what you saw, you can always check out more awesome content on our page. And as always, thanks for watching.